Hello there. In this episode, we will talk about the five pillars that a good anime and manga has. Those five pillars represent that the foundation upon a good show is built upon. And said good show should obviously have all five pillars, or at least some of them, to be good. What's the first pillar that you have? What does an
For
anime
me,
need? Oh, sorry.
yeah,
What does an anime
yes,
need to fulfill to be considered good? Now you can.
yes. Of course, I specialize in anime because the anime zoomer. So I will take my pillars for anime, of course.
Yes.
Um, and I will mix them. So I will take, for example, one pillar from one show, one point that's good from one show, and then try to mix it up and make maybe the best anime ever. Who knows?
Examples are obviously needed to explain why you like this
Mm,
aspect, so it's a good
yes.
approach.
Um, let's get started with the first pillar. And I have the same as you. I have took animations because yeah, you need good animations.
It's a visual
If your
medium.
yes, if your anime looks like shit, no one will watch it. What a surprise. Um, yes, but the show that I took is pretty obviously Demon Slayer in this case
I thought
because
One Punch Man.
yeah, that would be the negative one if he took one. Um, yeah, Demon Slayer animations are one of the best animations out there. You can say that.
Yes, I can agree with that. The manga would be a negative one, by the way.
True, but it's art, so not
Yes.
animations.
Do we have any other shows which are quite nicely animated? And
I
what does make good animation? Can combine it.
um, I also would put One Piece in the ring because the newest episodes they look awesome. Have
Mm,
you
I,
seen a few scenes?
yes, but I would actually say that One Piece, yes, it looks good in the episode, but it's not consistent. For me, good artwork and animation should be have some level of consistency. That's why Demon Slayer is also very highly regarded. Because the show looks
Hmm.
like one continuous shot, basically, in terms of animation
Yeah, okay,
quality.
that's true.
I mean, One Piece Season 1 was coming out weekly, so a lot of animators were needed, and a lot of animators have different styles, and that's fine, but the episodes look quite different, so that, that
Yeah,
but style is another good point I would bring in the mix. Because
true,
even though
true.
some shows aren't looking that good, they have some style. Cyberpunk, for example, has some great stylish shots. I mean,
Hmm.
you know the meme shot from a Cyberpunk anime. It's the same as your
Yes.
favorite Rize pick. That's a stylized good shot.
Hmm. Yes. But what's your first pillar?
I mean, I have artwork as well in terms of manga,
Okay.
but I would also combine it with an important fact for manga is the reading flow that the author gives you with the artwork. Because we are in a visual medium and I don't want to read a novel while getting assaulted with text. Two things, or two manga who are horrendous for that are Death Note and Hunter x Hunter. For example, Death Note has some great artwork. The drawings look nice, but the text is too much. That's why I would say the Death Note anime is more enjoyable than the manga. Even though the artwork is probably at 10 out of 10 level in terms of drawings. But if I want to read a novel, I'm going to read a novel. Shocking.
Yep.
In manga, there are also different styles. For example, we have a hyper realistic style, which is like Vagabond, Shinichi Sakamoto's works, where the drawings look as good and realistic as possible. And then we have a more stylized rough style. You probably know Chainsaw Man for that style or Doro Doro. JJK in the beginning, as when the artwork looked fine, was also in the category. It had great dynamic fights, good movement, and the roughness was fitting, but then the artwork got better. Eh, not not the word better with double T, worse. The bad word with D.
Yeah, yeah.
Another great example for stylized artwork is Dandadan.
Hmm. Yeah, Dandadan looks good in the manga.
Yes,
Even though it's a clustered fight, you can see everything.
yes.
But-
Plus, Dandadan is also the anime. That's something which is for me important when I watch an anime. It's enhancing its base material with stuff that the manga can't do. And Dandadan does it very good with the usage of color, because manga's black and white, but Dandadan uses the colors pretty well because basically every enemy has different color, which is nice to look at.
Mhm. It's Dandadan very unique.
Dandadan is quite unique indeed.
Should I go on to the next pillar?
Yes, I think art and animation is pretty simple.
Yeah. Um, but the next one isn't because it's subjective for every person. I took if it makes you feel something. Um,
I have feelings as well.
um, yes, and let me explain. If an anime is just boring and you don't feel anything, you can't laugh, you can't cry, you can't get hyped or anything, it's boring. You need emotions. Um,
Yes.
and yeah, that's why battle shonen are so good because they have hype moments where the MC gets a power up and then an epic soundtrack plays in the background and that makes you hype.
Same goes for romance when like a confession scene is happening, a kiss is happening, then you
Hmm.
are happy. And that's worthwhile to watch then, if a show makes you happy.
Yes.
I have a
And
oh, sorry, go on.
yeah, what do you have?
I have another topic of not topic. Um, I have another sort of emotions and feelings that you probably don't have on your list.
What is
It's
it?
familiarity and comfort. That's why we watch a lot of power fantasy. What trash. We want to watch something familiar where we can relax and enjoy it, where we know the tropes, know what is coming, and still have a good time. Because it's
Hmm.
familiar.
True that. Yes, that's right. But do you want to hear my show that I took for this?
Yes.
The show that I tried the most to Anohana.
You wanted to remember that sometime, but it wasn't on Crunchyroll.
Mm.
It's the with a sad show with a ghost girl, right?
Yes, yes. Every time I feel sad, I watch the ending scene again to cry, and then I feel better.
Yes. There are a lot of emotional scenes where you can do that for. One for me is, for example, the Going Merry scene, where a ship gets
Mm.
burned.
Yes.
Then, besides that, the Cyberpunk ending is also Sedge.
Mm.
You should
I
watch that
also
show.
took, yes, if it wouldn't be on Netflix.
Through that.
Um, yes, another show that I took is also You Lie in April. It's a roller coaster of emotions, and if you get a roller coaster of emotions, then an anime is good.
Yes. Another show which is with which I have which with positive emotion, it's obviously a Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity. You're happy when you read or watch this one.
Mm.
And happiness is a good a good word because watching Grand Blue or reading Grand Blue also makes me happy because it's funny as hell. Happiness or laughter is also an emotion or a feeling basically.
Yes, yes, true.
So depending on the feeling that you want to search out, there are a lot of good shows to reach that goal.
Mm.
Suspense can also be kind of a feeling when you are thrilled and don't know what's going to happen next when the plot twist comes in and you are in awe what the
Yeah.
writer just pulled off. It's a very broad topic feelings.
Mm. Should I go on to the next pillar?
Before we go on, I want to talk about a few negative examples.
Yes.
Do you have scenes where the author tried to do something emotional but it didn't land for you?
I mean, there are a few, I guess, but I don't remember a specific one. Yeah.
An example that I want to talk about are fake out deaths. One Piece, Fairy Tail, other
Yeah, yeah,
shonens.
true.
The authors are trying to write those emotional scenes, but they don't click because I don't believe them.
Yeah, I mean, scenes where the MC dies and then gets a power up and it comes back. Yeah, those scenes are pretty obvious and they don't, yeah, they don't fulfill their purpose.
Yes, there's no immersion, and with no immersions, no feelings. Now you can go on if you want.
Yes. For my next pillar, I have took plotline, storyline.
I have writing on my list,
Yeah,
quite
okay.
similar.
Yes. If the plot is just boring, like solo leveling, then the show isn't good, to be honest.
I have another
Uh,
show with good animation where plot is boring, but I can't remember on top of my head which one it was. Maybe I will remember later. Who knows?
you better not say it. You better not say it. Yes. We need a good storyline, storytelling, everything around the story. Because if the story can progress, you're just bored as fuck. And I mean, you get flashy lights and stuff, but nothing more than that. Um, yes, a show with good storyline is actually Chainsaw Man, in my opinion.
Yes.
Because, yeah, I mean, you have so much female characters that are actually good in Chainsaw Man. You have Lil Lee, you have Asa, you have Makima, you have Leze. All those female characters are actually good written, and they progress the story in Denji's character growth. They aren't just there for fun and jokes and fights. They are to progress the character growth of Denji, which is actually a good thing because over the plot you can see how Denji um
Tries to grow as a person.
yes,
Yes, what I like about the writing in Chainsaw Man that there aren't that many useless elements.
yes,
Like for example, now something hard will come for you. The One Piece slander. I think the newest One Piece writing, let's say after the time skip, took a dip because yeah, the world building is big, yes, but there's a lot of unnecessary stuff, which is kinda meh. I want to progress the story and go to important events or see important stuff, not some useless filler things. It's too cluttered. We need a focused experience. Like, let's take God Valley, for example. It was a focused experience, a focused story with a lot of lore, but still enough stuff for speculation.
mm,
While in Wano there were too many things, too many unresolved plotlines who were useless.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why I like straightforward writing and not that many long shonens. That's why I
Hmm.
also fall a bit out of love with One Piece because the progression is not that great as it was, I think.
But if there's no arguing about some specific plot holes, then the show is just irrelevant for me because you have a lot of theories in One Piece, you have a lot of arguing about specific characters that do something, and if there's no talk about a show, then it gets irrelevant really quickly.
True that, but I don't mind that. If I have a 10 out of 10 show that nobody else talks about, then it's still a 10 out of 10 show for me. But I know what you mean. It's nice to talk about
Yeah.
theories and stuff online or read them. That also can
Mm,
enhance the experience.
yes.
Before we go on, another thing where I thought One Piece had some irrelevant writing was the stuff before Elban. This plotline was fucking irrelevant. Where they were in this Lego world basically with a fake sun god giant there.
Ah, yeah.
This was
Yes.
useless. Maybe something will come out of it, but now, until now, it's turbo useless.
True.
Another thing that I have, and that's why because I wrote writing, is you can set up moments or write moments. There are also a lot of shonen are effective in that regard because sometimes shonens have mid-plot. You know which show I will talk about now, right?
Nah, I don't know.
But I would say Demon Slayer is quite good at writing moments. For example, whenever a Hashira is on the screen, then the possibility of a cool thing or a cool moment happening is quite high.
Hmm.
So
True.
even though your plot is mid, you can still write cool moments that people enjoy. No,
Yes, that's
also, you
true.
can
And
set up moment. Sorry.
I actually didn't think you would put in Demon Slayer as a good example for that, to be honest.
If you want to be a hater, you have to be fair. You can give credit, but then criticize as hard as well. Don't hate blindly, that's
Hmm.
dumb.
True.
Another
But the
thing
solo
that's
leveling hate is justice.
solo leveling is. It grows really
Yeah.
old.
Yes.
What I wanted to mention was when you write moments, there are a few principles that you have to abide. We know, for example, the principle of Chekhov's gun.
Chekhov's gun?
Chekhov's gun is a character from Star Trek. He's an engineer, and he
Oh
has
no, no, I don't know him.
in his room he has a gun. Why should an engineer have a gun? Because he needs to use the gun. If you want to do efficient writing and write efficient moments, you need to set up. So the setup is Chekhov has a gun, and we will use the gun at some point. That's good writing. That's good foreshadowing. Oda is, for example, very good at foreshadowing. I slated him beforehand,
Hmm.
but at foreshadowing, at setting up some things, he's still quite good.
Yes. He's pretty good in making subtle connections and foreshadowing things.
I think Chainsaw Man is also quite a lot of good foreshadowing with Makima.
True.
From what I've heard, but can confirm out, he has also some nice foreshadowed moments.
I don't know. I don't know. I haven't heard anything about that.
Ay, ay, ay. Do you have anything else for plot or writing, or should we go on?
Nope, we can go on. My next pillar is obviously characters, because if you have a good story, if you have good animations, and you have a good, you can feel something, then you need some good characters, because without characters, a story would be not possible.
To no one's surprise, I have characters as well. Shocking, right?
Yes. Um, yeah, you need characters, and the characters should be good written. In case of they should be relatable, they should be real, they shouldn't be bland, and you shouldn't
They should have
forget them.
agency.
Yeah, because name me two or three characters other than Sang Jin Woo from Solo Leveling.
Thomas Andre. I kinda like that guy.
Yeah, but other than that, it's pretty hard because the characters are just for decoration in Solo Leveling.
Yes. Besides him, I just thought that the boss from the Korean Hunter Association was kinda cool. And
Yeah.
obviously Han Cha for waifu bait.
Hmm.
But sort of thing is quite tricky because for us anime and manga enjoyers, Korean names are hard to remember.
Yeah, that's true.
But I know what you want to say.
Yeah. Um, yeah, characters are very important, and they should be, yeah, what I said already. Um, a good show that I took is actually Dandadan for this, because we have a lot of good characters. We have Momo, which is actually a smart, nice written female character. We have Okarun, we have her grandma, we have Gigi, we have Vamola, we have the glass rep, we have Hiratori. Yeah, all those characters are pretty good, and I like them because everyone has their own unique personality, flaws, and everything.
Well, yes, but those are shonen characters. Now the seinen elitists will come out. And obviously we'll mention the big three seinen. With Guts, Thorfinn, and Musashi. Those are good characters. Yes, but Tanahan characters are very likable. They
Hmm.
are nice. And
Synergy
with
is
that
all.
you can also
Yeah,
and
synergy
with
is
that you
all.
can also see let me finish.
Yes, yes,
You can talk about synergy because I wanted to make a transition.
yes,
With Thunder and with Big Three Saint, for example, you can see that there are different ways to write the good characters. You can have fun, enjoyable, relatable characters, or deep characters, who are very emotionally written. Also, synergy between characters can make them fun. Yes.
yes. The synergy is also what makes the characters so good in Dandadan, because you have a love triangle between Momo, Okarun, and Shiratori. You have a love triangle between Okarun. No, not a triangle. What is it? A square, because everyone loves Okarun uh, in a weird way.
I know
Mamola.
which meme you mean. There's one picture where you can see all the connections and all of the lines.
Yeah,
There's with how is a glass guy called Kinta, who has a line
Kinta.
to everyone, but no one has a line to him.
Yes.
It's also funny.
Um, yes. So this makes also the characters funny, because they fight over Okarun, Momo, and Shiratori, and this makes the characters so likable because they fight each other all the time, and it's just funny.
Same goes for other character dynamics like Sanji Zoro, Shinra Alpha.
Mm,
Characters bickering is always fun. Or
yeah.
good rivalries. Goku
Yes.
Vegeta. There's also another genre where characters are probably the most important thing, besides feelings. It's romance.
Yes.
Because your romance sucks if your characters aren't good.
Mm,
And a good example is, again, Fragrant Flowers.
yes.
I like all of the characters there. They have good arcs, they are good written characters, they're all likable.
Mm,
Even though in the beginning some are not likable, like Subaru, but then she has an amazing redemption story and is now very likable.
yes. I would also put in Kaguya-sama.
Yes, the characters are very funny.
Yeah. Yes. Do you have anything else for characters?
Mm, yes, one thing.
Yes.
I think there are shows where a certain character is that good that he carries the show alone. Do you have an example, or should I start while you think? One
You
example.
can start.
Arjun, Sato, as a goated villain, carries it alone, basically. The rest is good, but Sato's on another level. And a show that you know and like, it's Eminence in Shadow. Because Sid or Shadow Sama carries the show because he's such a goofball and so funny.
Yeah, okay, that's true.
So if you write a goated character, then no matter what else happens in your show is potentially goated.
Yeah.
If your character is him or her. We are inclusive here.
Hmm. Yes. So the last pillar that I have is how special an anime is. Um, if an anime is just boring and just like others from a specific genre, then the anime is not good because it doesn't shine out from the other anime from this genre. You need some specialness.
I have uniqueness as well on my list.
Yeah, kinda the same.
Yes. For all, we
Um,
have kind of the same, which was expected because, well, what makes a show good is kind of obvious.
yeah. Um, but this one was kinda hard because there are a lot of anime that are, yeah, the same and stuff. And for this one, I actually took Frieren, which is a surprise.
Irene is quite unique for a fantasy show because, like the title suggests, we start after the journey.
Yes. And it's about the travel journey, not about the
Yes.
fights, the epic moments and stuff.
No big plot line.
Yeah.
Good call, good call.
Hmm.
Well, I would now start with the most unique show, which is JoJo's.
Yeah, obviously.
That's the definition of uniqueness,
Yeah.
I would say. In
JoJo.
terms of uniqueness, also want to talk about parodies because they take the known stuff and put a unique spin on it.
Hmm. Yeah.
Examples are again, I would say, Eminence in Shadow, Konosuba's an isekai parody as well,
Yes.
100 Girlfriends, a harem parody.
Hmm.
Those shows
Because
are funny.
yeah, because they take overclustered genre and they don't take it as serious. They make fun of it, and that's a good thing.
Yes. But
Because
uniqueness has one kind of problem. At times, uniqueness is time gated. Because, let's take the Quints, you like those.
hmm.
The setting from the Quints were kinda unique when the Quints aired because I don't think at that time there weren't that many shows that had the Quint type of situation or mystery going on. But nowadays, more shows are trying to do the same as the Quins. Some
Yes.
better, some worse.
Hmm.
Same goes, for example, for Dragon Ball. All of the shows are basically copying Dragon Ball in some sort of way.
Yeah. Yes, and if you are unique, then a lot of people try to copy it and get the hype of your show on your neck.
Yes, that's why a lot of people are liking the Dark Trio. Because when they were coming out, Chainsaw Man, JJK, Hell's Paradise, they were unique for shonens.
Yes.
A lot more brutal, rougher, a lot more consequences.
Yeah. Um, yes. Do you? Are there any copies no, from it already?
Hmm, kinda. I would consider I've read a few volumes of Kagurabachi and it's like a combination between, let's say, Demon Slayer and the Dark Trio. A
Yeah,
bit.
I heard of it.
But I like it. It's nice. They read 3 or 4 volumes. But why is their reader nice? Let's say it like that.
Yeah, it was actually hyped a few years ago. Like really
It's
hyped.
because the first chapter got memed to death.
I see.
You'll
Um,
probably watch it when the anime comes out. I know you.
Probably. Yes, but for a negative example, you could throw in just basically any fast food isekai, basically every generic romance. Yeah,
Yes, or shows that just overuse tropes to the
yes.
diff. For isekais, the best example is the picture with all of the Kirito ass looking guys. With all the
Mm,
same hairstyle as Kirito.
yes,
But I would say uniqueness for me, I like when shows are unique, but it's a cherry on top because you can't expect every show to be unique.
mm,
That's not possible.
yes. I
What
would.
also can be unique. Sorry, go on.
No, you can go on, finish your thing.
I wanted to make a new thing, so that's why you can go on.
Okay. I would argue that of the four pillars that we had already, it's maybe not the most important pillar, but it's still, yeah, you need it, but it's not that important like the other fours, I would say.
Yes. What I wanted to talk about is when series have 1 or 2 unique aspects which make them nice. Let's talk about Gachakuta, for example. You finished that recently.
Yes.
The unique aspect of it is the looks of it and the world. I think those are
Mm,
kind of unique.
yeah, true.
You can also say the same for Fire Force. I like the designs and the kind of unique world that it has.
Yeah.
Even though the rest of those shows are, they are still shonen, so
Mm,
not everything needs to be 100% unique. A bit of
yes.
flavor of uniqueness is also enough.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Another Giga unique show is also Dora Dora and everything Q Hayashida does.
True that. Diedike is also unique.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, the Dark Trio is kinda inspired by Dora Dora. Chainsaw Man is at least.
Mm. So, for my conclusion, I would say that if you take the animations of Demon Slayer, you take the feelings of Anohana, you take the storyline or plotline of Chainsaw Man, the characters from Dandadan, and the uniqueness of Frieren, you put them together, you can get a mighty pillar, and this is
A
the,
mighty, a mighty foundation.
yes, this would
Yes, I mean,
probably, for me, the best anime to ever exist.
I can be lazy and just say read Innocent, because Innocent excels in all of them, in all of the pillars that I have. Unique setting, gothic characters, great writing, rough feelings, the best artwork, but that would be a bit too easy, right?
Yes, yes. And
So,
yeah, there's the difference between a person itself, because I have my taste, you have a different taste, everyone has a different taste. Everyone has to make their own pillars to see.
yes. Or everyone has to give enough value to each pillar because you like Demon Slayer, I don't, so you like the animation and the characters, so those pillars make the show for you goated. While
Yes.
I, for example, don't like the characters, but also can say the animation is good, but the writing and the rest is mid.
Mm,
So there's some uniqueness in our taste as well, and in uniqueness in how strong each pillar is.
yes.
Before we end, I have another conclusion. I have another question before we go to a final
Yes.
conclusion.
Yes.
What do you think do you like more? A show that has one or two insanely strong pillars, or a show that is quite balanced in all of your pillars and fulfills them all in a certain kind of way? But not in a great 10 out of 10 way.
Um, I would say the second one, because if it's balanced, it's probably still very enjoyable, and yeah, and it
Interesting,
exceeds,
interesting.
yes, it exceeds probably 80% of specific genre. Yeah.
Yes. I would, for example, go with the other way actually. Because if you have a show that is the goat in one thing, then that show will be burnt in my memory.
Okay, that's true.
Like, let's take Sunken Rock for example. The artwork is nice. But the rest, I mean, I like the characters, but the rest is not good. But it's still a top 20 show for me. But it's hard to find those shows, or harder to make those.
Yes, that's true.
Because being the goat in something is rough. But being good in a little something. Nah. How does the IGN slogan go? The 7 out of 10 slogan.
Phew.
IGN 7 out of 10, a little bit for everybody, something like that. Let's make out of a 7, a 9, and then we have a great show. That is great to watch.
Hmm.
Because every foundation is checked.
Yes.
But the answer to that question showed again greatly that it varies from person to person. What they like, what is good, what pillars they like, what pillars they have, and what is important for them.
Yes.
I think that's a good statement for a conclusion.
Yeah. Yeah. Can't argue with
What's
that.
up for next week?
For next week, we will make another funny thingy, because we will make a quiz, and we will ask the other ones not just questions about anime, manga. We will ask about themselves, because what I mean is, I'm going to ask you what is my favorite J-pop artist, and I will give you answer possibilities, like for multiple choice. And yeah, we will make a quiz about ourselves. And the
It's a
other,
test to see if everyone is listening to each other's yapping and not scrolling on the phone.
true that. Yeah, not just about anime or manga. It's just like real life questions.
Yes, but probably most of the questions will be related to anime and manga, I
Yeah.
would assume.
Yes. Yes.
Then we will hear you. You will hear us next week. That's the right order.
Yes. Thank you for listening and for this episode, and we hope to see you in the next one.
Yes, and have a nice day. Bye.
Bye.